is a presentation of the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports.
We're in the final 2 days of the ACC regular season. We have a game of huge implications for both Pitt and Clemson. Both these teams 10-7 in the ACC. One more win heading into the ACC tournament would be a big lift for either team. Pitt has played well on the road. Lamar Patterson will have to lead the Panthers. KJ McDaniels and the Tigers know that this is their final home game, and a win would get them the magic number of 20 for the season. A great matchup, a huge game, Pitt and Clemson, and it's coming up next. The final weekend of the regular season brings us to sunny and warm Clemson, South Carolina. We could play this one outside, but it's too important. This game means too much, so come on inside Little John Coliseum. It's the regular season finale, and they love their basketball here in Clemson. KJ McDaniels, he leads the Tigers. Clemson relies on him heavily, and they'll need him today. He averages 17 a game. The junior from Birmingham, Alabama. And how about Pitt? They rely heavily on Lamar Patterson. He's a senior. He too averages 17 a game. And they will need him today. And hello again, everybody. I'm Tim Brand along with head coach Dave Odom. It's good to have you along. This is a Clemson team that has really played well down the stretch. Pitt stumbled a little bit trying to get their giddy up as they head into tournament time. As we look at the resumes for the big dance, how about Pitt first?
Well, Pitt is one of those teams that right now feels like they're in, but it wouldn't hurt to have another win here in Clemson. Their resume is certainly solid. There's no question about that. Their RPI is 58, the strength of schedule. They've been better away from home than they have at the Peterson Event Center. That's unusual for them.
All right, let's talk about the Clemson Tigers. They've won 4 out of their last 5. This is a team that in the preseason was picked near the bottom, and now here they are fighting for the 5th seed.
Well, if you believe the experts, at the beginning of the year, they were picked 14th. Here they are fighting for a number 5 seed in the ACC tournament, which begins next week. This would be, I think, solidifying win for them today.
All right, we're just about set. Here we go now. We're ready to tip this thing up. They're fighting for the 5th seed in the ACC tournament. Let's bring the regular season to an end with a bang. Pitt looking for its 23rd win of the year. Clemson, well, they're looking to keep this thing alive as they head into the ACC tournament. It's an ACC Saturday next.
Endless
ACC basketball is being brought to you by AT&T, exclusive wireless provider of the ACC. By your Carolina Ford dealers. By Ruby Tuesday, official corporate champion of the ACC. By Food Lion, official supermarket of the ACC. And by Hyundai.
Spectacular day here at Clemson. More than 10,000 fans at Littlejohn. It's a fire marshal game. Here's a look at our Food Line starting lineups. First for the Pitt Panthers, the guys you want to watch: Lamar Patterson, James Robinson. They want them to elevate their game, get back to where they were playing earlier in the season. For the Clemson Tigers, well, they look like this. Hall will run the show. Harrison and McDaniels will give you the points. Blossingame and Noko are the guys that have to control the boards. The officials: Les Jones, Raymond Steins, Dwayne Gladden, and we're underway. Pitt will have it first in the road blues.
There'll be no secrets early. Both teams man-to-man, and it'll be difficult to score points.
Two strong defensive ball clubs. This is Robinson, and they will need some points from him today.
Well, I think one of the key battles today would be Rod Hall against Robinson inside. Both teams need their point guard to give them some points.
Shot clock at 8. This is right. Panthers have to go. Turnaround by Young. Right at the buzzer and no basket.
You're going to see that over and over and over again, Tim. No quick shots. Good
Harrison.
shots hard to come by.
This is McDaniels. Inside he goes. Dangerous pass. And they turn it over. Turnover number 1 for the Tigers.
I'd be surprised if there's a lot of turnovers in this game, even though the teams both really played strong defense.
Patterson for 3. A lot of contact, no call. It's the way it's going to be.
Well,
put on your big boy uniforms today.
One of the keys is going
That's
to
for
be
3. McDaniels.
Offensive rebounding is going to be a key. If Pittsburgh can get to the boards, it'll help them a lot, but they're going to have to guard KJ McDaniels from outside. Interesting, the two stars both have taken a three-point shot right to start off with.
Patterson takes it right at the rack and kisses it in.
In honesty, I was talking to Jamie Dixon yesterday. I'd like to see Lamar Patterson taking the ball to the basket more as he did on the last possession.
McDaniels now just needs 6 more points to reach 500. Down low to Noko, and he turns it over. Turnover number 2. Pitt's got numbers, but they didn't realize it. Young pulled it up.
Well, that double team came off of a post-to-post double, which Noko did not look like he was expecting.
And the 3 ball by Wright is too strong. Turnover number 3. Patterson behind his back, maybe too much. Young feeds the lane, and Zana scores.
I think in Pitt, you're looking at one of the best passing teams in the Atlantic Coast Conference this year. They can really pass the ball. They look for their teammates, and they get it to them on time.
Yeah, indicative of that last possession. Another turnover. Robinson banks it in.
Well, when you bounce the ball on the perimeter, it's a slow pass. That takes forever to get from you to your teammate. And a team like Pitt, you can't give them any more of an advantage than that.
4 turnovers now for Clemson. And it's a 6-0 run for the Panthers. Nice turnaround by Noko.
Yeah, they needed that. The last several games, they've been going into Noko more. And notice where he caught the ball on that play, Tim. It was in the middle of the lane. It's hard to get a double team to him there.
Zana has a tough time getting it. Back out to Wright. That is a 3 ball by Michael Young.
I think he's a star for the future. He's played very, very well this year. He's solid. He's only going to get better as he stays under Jamie Dixon's tutelage.
Freshman out of Duquesne, Pennsylvania. Good freshman class. It's a 9-2 Pitt run, just what the doctor ordered here on the road at Littlejohn.
so far, James Robinson has really played extremely well against Rod Hall.
Well, take a look at our 4 keys to the game, Coach.
Well, when I talked to both coaches, they both came up with the same thing. They had to play to their average of their offensive glass. So that means whoever takes care of their defensive boards is going to have a bit of an advantage here. Both of them are very good on the offensive glass. Both of them have been very good on the defensive glass. The last game against North Carolina State, Pitt only had 2 offensive rebounds.
KJ McDaniel stepped on the line on that last drive. No bucket, 5 turnovers for Clemson. Nice pass inside to Patterson. Ball's still alive. Panthers coming up with 50-50s. And a rebound taken away by the Tigers. Good strong drive. Harrison with the bucket. Makes it 9-7. One thing about Patterson, he doesn't force the issue.
He really doesn't. I mentioned he's been taking a lot of jump shots, and I do think he's better off driving inside because he creates things for his teammates.
First turnover for the Panthers.
Good play by Rod Hall. No numbers on his side there. Buck it out.
Hall brings it back out, starts it over. 25 on the shot clock. Harrison tries to make it 2 in a row and can't. Artis at the other end by himself.
Well, if you're Clemson, you don't expect them to run as much. That's a good play by Pittsburgh, but it comes off of another turnover.
Jamel Artis, the 6'7" freshman from Baltimore, Maryland. Inside they go. Nice pass, great finish. Oh, Blassingame puts an exclamation point on that possession.
And a nice play by Noko inside. He felt the double team coming and found his open teammate. You know, we said points are going to be hard to come by in this game. They're not at this point.
DeMarcus Harrison knocks it out of bounds with 18 on the shot clock. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. Tigers passing the ball well out to an 11-9 lead. But the Tigers starting to come back behind Blassingame. Exclusive production of Raycom Sports. Today's coverage of ACC basketball is being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome the nearly 1 million men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces stationed around the globe in 175 countries and on the high seas. We're so proud to have you with us today, and we hope you're enjoying the broadcast. And we certainly appreciate what you do for us every single day.
Absolutely, no matter where you are in the world. We do appreciate it, both men and women all across our big globe. I'll tell you one thing. We couldn't be doing today what we're doing today without them.
They're still talking about you when you went over to see the troops.
That was one of the highlights of my life. I mean, it really was.
Best dancer in the battalion.
We had a great country night, country music night in Afghanistan.
Panthers by 2, trying to add to that lead, and this foul will put Pitt at the line.
You know, spacing in college basketball is so important today, and Jamie Dixon and his Panthers have really come out today, and they're spacing their team very, very well. Their pick and rolls are well outside of 3. They're opening up the middle, and they're rolling in there. Clemson is having a trouble with their double rotation, trying to get to the roll man.
Ibrahim Jumbo misses the first one. Closed captioning for ACC basketball, provided by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. It's bow time. Jumbo has another one coming. Or Randall, correction. Foul is on Jumbo.
This is my first time seeing Pitt live. I'm struck by the size of their players. They are really big. I mean, they're big and they're strong and they're long.
So the foul on Randall rather, paid off. They went up, and instead of the 2, the layup, he goes and only makes 1 of 2 at the line. This is Hall. Hall takes it right down Main Street.
We got Josh Newkirk in, and of course we know what he's done lately. 7 consecutive threes, and you can bet the Tigers know that.
Boy, Harrison all over Patterson. Artist drops another 2-ball.
And a nice play by Patterson. He didn't come unglued, and you would expect that by one of the best players in the ACC, who's a 5th-year senior.
Jamel Artist comes in and gets a couple of quick buckets. Hit a strong game against North Carolina with 13 points, 7 rebounds.
I like the way the Clemson players are posting in the lane now, and again, it's tough to double them whenever you can get in the lane like that.
Hall with the floater. 1-point game. DeMarcus Harrison doing a great job with Lamar Patterson. Halfway down, came back out.
Clemson has settled in quite a bit. They had 5 early turnovers. Very, very atypical for them.
Harrison picks up his dribble.
Shot clock.
Ajokwa looks up and sees it. They go inside. Taken away by Pitt. And Artist gives it up. 6 turnovers for the Tigers here in the first half. Patterson for 3. Yes!
Hey, he's got a great feel for using the screen like that. And again, I think I go back to him being a 5th-year senior. I'm not sure young kids can do what he did there. He felt the opening coming off the backside.
Brad Brunell wants a timeout. His club has turned the ball over.
Yeah, you know, when you get a chance like that, Lamar Patterson's excellent at seeing when he's open. He can step back away from the defense, burying his man on the other side, and he's very, very good with the ball. Even if it comes out of his hands just right, you can tell it's going in.
They're playing for a lot today, Dave. Pitt struggled over the last 4 weeks with losses to Duke and Virginia and Syracuse. They were devastating. Losses to Carolina and FSU, NC State, they were deflating. But here they are today playing for that number 5 seed.
And, you know, they feel, in spite of the fact that they have had some setbacks lately, they feel very good about playing on the road against a team that, you know, they beat by Well, let's face it, 30 points earlier in the season.
Meanwhile, Clemson's got a lot of momentum. They've won 4 of their last 5.
And as good as they can possibly be, they play in this building. Little John Coliseum has been very, very good to them, and they'll continue to play very, very well here. I don't think Brad Brunell is very pleased with the way they started. They don't turn the ball over near as much as they have in the first 10 minutes of this game.
Clemson going for its 20th win of the year for only the 13th time ever in the history of Clemson basketball. Clemson with 6 field goals and 6 turnovers.
Clemson playing today without Filer.
Clemson against Miami last Tuesday. Tigers had only 9 turnovers for the game. Here they are today with 6 field goals, 6 turnovers. Timeout on the floor. Brad Brunell still not happy, shaking his head in a big ball game at Little John. Well, as you look at the game summary, Pitt has 5 steals. Wright has 2 of those. Clemson only 1 steal. Ruby Tuesday takes us around the ACC to check in on conference action. Georgia Tech 62, Virginia Tech 51. That'll final. Miami beats Wake Forest. That's a final. North Carolina Duke, the big one, of course. Battle of the Blues tonight at 9 o'clock. Virginia and Maryland, that's tomorrow. And of course, that's the last ACC regular season game those two will ever play. Syracuse, Florida State, Boston College, and NC State. NC State, that's a team I don't think a lot of people want to face in that tournament.
Well, they got really good young talent, and of course they got one of, if not the best player in the conference in TJ Warren.
Looking at this game, Coach, what have you seen so far?
Well, I see a relaxed and very confident Pitt team. They look very, very comfortable to me, surprisingly so. Down here you've got a sold-out Little John Coliseum here on the last day in the ACC season. And I'm a little bit surprised that they look that good. And I see a team in Clemson that has been very atypical in the fact that they've made too many turnovers. I think they'll turn it back.
McDaniel's got the 50-50, fed it to Roper, who drained a 3, and the crowd loved the hustle.
Now that's the kind of play that Clemson's going to need. They haven't had thus far.
Tigers back to within 1. Not a high-scoring Clemson team. They do it defensively.
And I think we said that the points are going to be hard to come by. So far, both teams have scored, which has surprised me a little bit. I'm not sure that'll be true all the way through.
Last touch by Clemson. A lot of folks thought it was off Zana. 6 on the shot clock.
Well, there were a lot of arms in there. I was impressed that time by Josh Newkirk's athleticism, his ability to get into the teeth.
Great job by McDaniels to get that rebound and feed Roper.
And that's one of the best times. Throw it out off the offensive boards.
Lost out of bounds by Patterson.
I continue to be amazed at players driving baseline. You know other teams force you that way for a reason, and it's usually because they want to double team you. Even a guy like Lamar Patterson, who went baseline that time and lost the ball, fifth-year senior, should know better than going to baseline.
Cameron Wright checks back in for Pitt. Jordan Roper brings in a nice jumper. This is Blassingame. Soft rim, but it won't go down.
Yeah, they must have tightened that thing up a little bit. Looked like that was down.
Nice pass inside Zana with the pump fake, but too hard with the shot. Looked like he was expecting more contact. Into the corner, McDaniels. Yes, sir!
Well, that's 2 assists from Noko. One, and he threw the ball out to McDaniels on the other side, and here on this side, Noko's beginning to feel much more comfortable against the pressure, the double teams that Pitt's throwing at him.
Tigers 2-point lead, the first since they hit the first bucket of the game. Right down Main Street. Ball was partially blocked on the way up. It's an 8-3 Clemson run. And Roper is fouled by Robinson. And James Robinson picks up his second personal.
Well, what a great pass by Noko out to McDaniels on the backside over there. McDaniels was shot ready with his hands and his feet. Got that ball off quickly.
As you look at those numbers, Roper at the line makes his first. Jordan Roper's a 78% free throw shooter. He's now made 38 of his 48 free throws this year.
Well, you know, he's particularly valuable today with Adonis Filer out of the game, not playing today with that hamstring pull. So Roper's going to have to give more minutes than he even normally does.
Roper misses the second. He's got 4 points, 1 rebound. Nice crossover by Robinson. How about that, Coach?
That's called using the pick and roll the right way. He actually rejected the screen. He went back on that backside. There was no help for him. Clemson defense late to the plate.
So Jordan Roper at the point.
Now we're just seeing something that Jamie Dixon's teams have not been very popular with the last several years, and that's a zone defense.
Jukwa with the 3 ball.
So much for that. Freshman stepped up and made it.
Jukwa's had an impact on this game as soon as he came in. Foul underneath or pass underneath the Newkirk. They turn it over. Young couldn't handle the pass. James Robinson breaking ankles right down Main Street. But the Tigers come back from the bonus sphere. Kick it out. Stop, pop, bang.
Mine was earned in Korea in 1953.
A 10-2 run over the last 2 minutes and 57 seconds. Look at the AT&T fast analysis.
Well, they've made 6 turnovers, which is atypical for them, but they've made 4 out of 6 threes. KJ McDaniels, a couple, and Ojukwu came in, and he knocked one in from the right side off that zone defense. So Jamie Dixon more than likely is going to rethink how much zone he wants to play. And I see he's going back to pretty much his starting lineup here with Lamar Patterson coming back into the game along with Wright.
Jamie Dixon, 48 years old, played at Texas Christian. Ranks first in the old Big East ahead of Jim Boeheim in winning percentage. Well,
he's certainly been one of the more successful coaches in the entire country, not just the Big East and now the ACC. He's well respected as a defensive coach, but really does a great job of motivating his team and playing with his team.
Entry pass by Roper. How did that not go down?
I don't know, Tim, but I don't want to beat this to death, but notice where the post passes are going. In the middle of the lane. The first post pass of the game went to the side of the lane. Post-to-post double came in. There was a turnover. It's hard to get help to a post player in the middle of the lane. He should have put that down, but he was there to get it done.
Last touch by the Panthers. New 35 for the Tigers. And they waste no time in scoring. Blossom game.
And Jamie Dixon can't be happy with that.
Blossom game with a rebound. All of a sudden, the Tigers look like a powerful offensive team.
Well, they're much more comfortable with Noko in the post handling the ball.
McDaniels for 2.
He's playing like it's his senior day.
Keep in mind, they're playing for the 5th seed in the ACC tournament. Jamie Dixon takes a 30-second timeout.
Well, when you get a guy like KJ McDaniel, you're never safe. You got to get some help to him. That was totally a one-on-one move and one of those Euro step in, step back, and make the jumper. Send them home with the basket.
Keep in mind, Pitt beat Clemson January 21st, 76-43 on a cold, snowy night in the Peterson Event Center. 14 turnovers created a 24-6 run for Pitt in that ball game.
Well, if you talk to anybody from Clemson, they're saying, hey, we got our backside handed to us that night. But the truth of the matter is, Brad Brownell took his first team out with about 8 minutes to go, didn't put them back. Thus, the 30-point margin probably would have been a 15, 18-point margin anyway. So they did get beat, but they haven't forgotten that.
So let me ask you this. Does the selection committee look at that?
I don't think they do. I think they look at it as a loss, and that's it, and they move on. They can't evaluate them that closely.
Well, Pitt has hit only 1 of its last 5 field goals. And there's a turnover. Ojukwu.
Well, that's sloppy ball handling on the Panthers' part. They threw a lazy pass from one side to the other. Ojukwu got the energy you need.
Left-handed shot may have been tipped in the cylinder. No call.
Yeah, that's one of those offensive rebounds that was missing against North Carolina State. Jamie Dixon hollering at the official underneath the basket now.
How about Austin Ojukwu coming in and making an impact?
And he really has. He did not play much during the middle of the ACC season. But with Adonis Filer out today, they need another player. Ojukwu they've gone to. He's played very well so far.
It's a 16-4 run by the Tigers.
Watch Noko inside.
Blossom game. Ojukwu to the scorer, McDaniels. And the whistle and the foul. This is against Noko. That's his first.
It looks like the steal there for Ojukwu going in gives them life, but Jamie Dixon continues to berate some of the officials, and he's trying to let them know, hey, we get fouled as well.
You know, you were a master of it. If I can give you a compliment, you were excellent at managing a game on the road, making sure when a roll started, you could get involved and make a change quickly.
Well, it's harder to get in a game than it is to get out of a game. I mean, you put your head down, you don't, you make an error or two and you put your head down, you can be out of a game in the ACC, particularly one like this, quickly.
Newkirk's shot draws iron, and this will belong to the Tigers.
Well, as we've said, now Newkirk came into this game with 7 consecutive three-point shots. He's missed his first 2. attempts at the three-point, just field goals so far.
Keep in mind, Pitt had those early 6. They forced 6 turnovers by Clemson early, turned them into points, built a 4-point lead. And now Clemson's on one heck of a run here. Rod Hall looks up at the shot clock. Still plenty of time. Blossom game? Yes.
They are doing a great job of spacing away from the pick and roll. And Rod Hall knows exactly how to do that. He takes them one way, throws back opposite.
Tigers' largest lead. Offensive foul.
You know, wow. When you go pick and roll, you're able to reject it, as Rod Hall did there with his left hand throwing back across to Blossom game, who spaces away. Is terrific. Again, when you go baseline like that, you're out of control. You got to expect help from the backside. Charge, easy call for the officials.
The foul on Artis is his first. And now Pitt is almost caught up in those turnovers. They have 5.
This is a critical point, Tim, for the Pitt team. They've gone back zone, a little bit of a surprise to me, but the man-to-man, the Clemson team has gotten to it. Clemson won't be quite as effective with Noko out of there.
They jump out and extend the zone every time McDaniels touches it. Taken away. 7th turnover for Clemson. Feed the middle, and Zana banks it in.
Good play there by Cameron Wright. Knew he didn't have a shot. He looked for a trailer. Zana came in with the good hands and the good feet. Completed the play.
Gets that lead back to single digits.
Now with that side, so the defense will push out.
Harrison. Pump fake by Young.
And also on the defensive end, you don't have Noko in there to stop Pitt from going inside. So substitution, player patterns, all very, very important.
Reels that lead back to 7.
Everything is matchups, and right now the matchup that's in the game, personnel matchup, really favors Pitt.
McDaniels looking from way outside. And this is going to be over the back. Zate, his first personal over the back. 3:12 to play in the first half. The Tigers have been on a roll, but all of a sudden, Pitt starting to close it back in. pulled Clemson's 11-point lead back to 7. The Ram Power Play is brought to you by the new 2014 1500. This past Wednesday, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons hosted a 4th-ranked Duke Blue Devils in Winston-Salem. Early in the first half, Cody Miller-McIntyre with the steal and the slam dunk. Miller-McIntyre would finish with 13 points. He also had 8 assists. The Deacons would upset the Blue Devils 82-72. That's our Ram Power Play. And this Clemson crowd here today would like to be out on the floor just like that.
Well, it's a lot of fun. You know, we're seeing the students field of 4 and big home wins all over the country. I don't know how long that's going to last, but you know, it's kind of nice to see them celebrate, I think.
More than 10,000 fans here today. Big weekend here at Clemson. Here's Patterson in the lane. McDaniels climbed his back, no whistle.
Yeah, Patterson, the shot there, he'd have drawn the foul on McDaniels.
Instead, it's Young. And this foul is going to be on Zana.
Tim, I really believe that Noko is one of the really upstart players in this league. He's gotten better in the last 3 weeks, noticeably better. Rebounds the ball well, defends well, and now he's beginning to be an effective fast passer. But he also scores inside. He's very, very good as a player right now, and he's got, what, 2 more years ahead of him.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Zana goes out, and Randall comes back in to the post for Pitt.
KJ McDaniel lurking on that baseline.
And there it is. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. The foul will be on Randall. That's his 2nd.
I don't know how you could possibly lose KJ McDaniels, but they did.
Clemson beat Maryland last Sunday in double overtime, 77-73. Beat Miami 58-54 the other night. Trying to make another big win here. Time to look at the nation's top 25. This is brought to you by the Honda dealers of the Carolinas. Of course, Virginia being the surprise there in the top 20. They move up to 5th in the nation.
Have you ever seen a team in the ACC win as much as they've won?
No, and they've earned every one of them.
Yeah, and they have. They've earned everything they've gotten, but nobody knows, and nobody talks about it.
Really well-coached team. No call as Patterson goes down. Jamie Dixon furious. At the other end, it's a bucket. Now Marcus Harrison took it right at the rack, and Jamie Dixon's still upset.
Well, he certainly thought that Patterson got held on that last play and took a timeout he felt like it was important enough to take a timeout to discuss that with the officials. And of course, you got to give Clemson credit. They kept playing. DeMarcus Harrison all the way to the basket there, completed the play. Could have been a 3-point play. Didn't get the call on that end.
Well, Haviland presents the ACC Player of the Week. On the men's side, Virginia's Malcolm Brogdon, North Carolina's Marcus Page, and for the women, Florida State's Natasha Howard. Brogdon averages 17 points and wins over Miami and Syracuse. Page had a career-high 35 in the win against NC State. That game an instant classic. Howard averaged an amazing 33 points and 9 rebounds in 2 games last week. So congratulations to all 3, Malcolm Brogdon, Marcus Page, and Natasha Howard. Tremendous basketball played over the last 7 days.
And it gets better as we get closer to tournament time.
Well, that's going to be a wild week next week in Greensboro.
You're going to be there, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Wouldn't miss it.
You know, you've got 2 of the best players on each team guarding each other, KJ McDaniel, Lamar Patterson. If I was Patterson, I'd go after McDaniel a little bit. See if we're going to get some fouls on him. There you go.
Patterson has his shot blocked. He's getting frustrated now. He's even talking to the officials.
He is, and I'm not sure that he had any right to on that play. It looked like a great defensive play by me. By me.
9 on the shot clock now as the Panthers bring it in. Patterson looks at it. Look for a step back. And he draws the foul. The foul is on McDaniels. That was smart basketball.
It was. Again, that was a elder statesman play there. He got McDaniel up in the air, had him come down on him, drew the foul. He got a three-point shot attempt. Didn't make it, but he's going to get 3 at the line.
Keep in mind, he had just been talking to the officials. Jamie Dixon had been talking to the officials, as you said, took that timeout. And so they're going to look at his feet to see if he gets 3 or 2.
Well, I'll have to admit it was on the far side for me. I'm not real sure, but it looked to me like it was a 3-point shot.
That's going to be a 2. Looks like that right foot is on the line.
It is. I think his right toe is on the line. That should not take long to decide that.
There's the step back, but then he stepped back in.
But he will get 2.
Not too much of a foul there, but enough after all the chirping that he was looking and drew it. .132 to play in the half. Well, it's March, and that means it's Happy Hoops Days at the ACC Digital Network. You can count on Jeff Fischel and Drew Barry to bring you all the best highlights and must-see moments at the ACCDN, or visit theacc.com. It's the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Happy Hoop Days.
And it's confirmed. Les Jones, 2-point attempt, so they'll get 2 free throws. Again, that was an easy one.
So Lamar Patterson goes to the line. He's the 6'5" senior from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, 3-time ACC Player of the Week. He's had 10 20-point performances, only 5 points here today. Knocks down the first free throw. He averages 17. Today, just 2 for 7 from the field.
Tim, this is an important minute 32 for both teams, but particularly for Pitt. They're down 10, now 9. They need to play great defense here, get at least one more possession and maybe a second if they can do well. This possession is probably going to play out. They're in zone. There'll be no reason for Clemson to play it any sooner than they really want to.
Very patient. They're going to use a lot of the shot clock, you would think. No, sir. Let it fly. 50-50 ball. Taken back by Hall. The alley-oop.
And that's the only reason that you would want to go ahead and take 2 points there. Hall's head was up. He saw his teammate on the backside, gave him a good alley-oop pass.
Wow.
Almost a 100% shot.
Wright doing a lot of dribbling. They double him. Zana to the rack.
Oh, that's a great move there by a big guy. Show dexterity, be able to go up in the air and come off with 1 foot and shoot it with the other hand. I would be surprised here if they don't take this right down as far as they possibly can. They got about an 11-second differential between the two.
Final 28 seconds of the first half. 10 on the shot clock. McDaniels loses on the way up and gets it back. Shot clock is off. And now they bring it out for the final 10 seconds.
I was wondering if KJ...
I was thinking the same thing.
Brad Burnell took that orange coat and thrown it at him.
No bucket. No bucket. And it's a 9-point Clemson lead at intermission. What an offensive performance in the first half by the Tigers. The alley, the slam, the exclamation by Blossom Game. Brad Burnell is with us. Brad, that was an offensive output after those first 6 turnovers that got this Tigers going, huh?
Well, we obviously shot the ball well and got some threes. I thought our bench guys, Juku and Roper, really played well, and we got some things settled down defensively and got some transition.
And Brad, you started the game with 6 turnovers. That's very atypical for a Clemson Tiger team. How'd you stop that?
Well, I think there's a lot of energy in the building. Certainly our guys are really jacked up. Sometimes when you do that, you play a little out of control, a little faster than you're used to. I think we just settled into the game and played a little bit better.
Brad, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys.
Tigers shot 58% in that first half. Wow. That brings us to halftime. Clemson 38, Pitt 29. They're playing for the 5th seed in the ACC tournament. And we've got the final 20 after this.
How hot is 99 cents at Wendy's?
No, wait! I said my mouth was on fire.
99 cents has never been hotter with 2 new spicy Chipotle sandwiches.
Now that's better.
Welcome into the Wendy's Halftime Report. I'm Kerry Chow. Coming up, we'll join the ESPN Buzzer Beater Network in progress to keep you up to date with all the action that's going on today. Buzzer Beater features unlimited live cut-ins, highlights, and analysis from the biggest matchups throughout college hoops. But first, it's time to look at our Wendy's Wooden Award watch. And today we're looking at New Mexico's Australian-born Cameron Bairstow. The senior forward is leading the Lobos with 20.3 points per game on 56% shooting from the field, while also pulling down 7.2 boards per game, all on a diet of Vegemite. That part's not true, but he is good. All right, as promised, we'll get you up to date with everything that's going on today as we join the Buzzer Beater Network in progress. Just a reminder that Buzzer Beater is available through participating TV providers and live on Watch ESPN. Enjoy.
I have to believe that if Pittsburgh loses this game, that he's going to say that they're going to have to do some work in the ACC tournament if, in fact, they're going to get a bid.
How much work do they have to do as we take a look at some of the other scores here with a distinctly SEC flavor?
They have a lot of work to do.
A lot?
They haven't played anybody in the non-conference. I think there's a danger of them getting penalized for that.
What you might have seen there, should have mentioned it, Alabama destroying Arkansas. It's 39-16. Arkansas, one of Lombardi's last scoring as well. Final 15 seconds of the half, all balls.
Gray left it a little bit short. Barton with a tip. Almost got it to go. Stokes battling underneath. And it'll come back the other way. Missouri basketball with 5.5. Jimmy, a lot of time. Who do they go to here? What do they run, do you think?
Jordan Clarkson is a guy that can get it all the way to the rim in 5 dribbles if he can find a crease.
Here he is. Clarkson on the move and a foul.
Good foul
By McCray.
Missouri not in the bonus yet.
Had one to give. That's just the second foul on him.
There isn't any area that Tennessee, from a player standpoint and a coaching standpoint, that they are not on top of in this game. To communicate that to your guys when at the other end of the floor, Konzo Martin did it. And now Missouri has even a shorter clock to work with at 2.6.
Jabari Brown, the team's leading scorer, still without a field goal in this game.
You better tag Brown here. He can make a guarded shot because of his size.
He'll try to lob it inside. Post. Boy, it got to him, but he should have caught it. Could not get the handle on that nice inbound pass. And Stokes punctuates the first half with some good hustle, getting on the deck and the loose ball.
You can call me Will. You can call me Antonio. Right now, just call me into the locker room with a 37-19 lead, right?
Time for the Capital One Cup impact performance, and it goes to Kenny Cherry and Baylor. Hit their free throws down the stretch. He had 29, 13 from the free throw line, and they may have bolstered their NCAA tournament resume. My partner thinks they got into the dance with this win.
Kenny Cherry did a really good job. I've seen great growth from him this season. The ability to spread the court. And remember, when you play with good big guys, and O'Neal and Isaiah Austin and Corey Jefferson, they're going to get a lot of attention near the rim. So what happens is that creates a lot of gaps and seams for not only Cherry, but for Brady Heslop. We saw that role last year for the perimeter guys. They got open shots because there's sort of like if you've got good blocking in football, it makes your run game better. It makes your passing game better. Same thing, post perimeter works that way as well.
Interesting. Now, another interesting matchup a little bit later tonight is in the Big Ten. It's hard to imagine that a year ago, and this is how much things change in college basketball, a year ago Indiana and Michigan played to essentially decide who the Big Ten champion would be. It was on the final Sunday of the regular season. So here we are on the final Saturday of this regular season, and it's already been determined that Michigan is the outright champion. And there's a lot of people that think the reason they've done this is the play of Nick Stauskas.
He is the Big Ten Player of the Year, and he has grown in terms of his ability not only to make shots, he's always going to do that, but to come off screens, to put the ball on the floor, to become a better passer. He has a beautiful shot from Canada, now projected as a mid-first round draft pick. I think there's a pretty good chance that he will lead putting on the floor. Last year, he stood on the perimeter and let Trey Burke and Tim Hardaway Jr. play make for him. Now all of a sudden, he's making plays for others. And let me tell you how improbable this run is. Let's go back to December 14th. Michigan was 6-4. A lot of grumbling after last year's Final Four. A lot of people thought this team should be pretty good. Mitch McGary not playing very well. He's back. He's got surgery. He's done for the year. A lot of people were really thinking, okay, you know, maybe next year will be better. This is over with.
Right.
Instead, with one game to go, Michigan has a 2-game lead. They've wrapped up the Big Ten title. John Beilein is the coach of the year in the Big Ten. In my opinion, Tim Miles deserves a lot of credit. But the fact that they have changed roles, Karis LeVert has emerged, Jordan Morgan and John Horford have solidified the post. And remember that game? We talked about it last year. Mm-hmm. Horford and Morgan did a nice job against Cody Zeller.
Yeah.
Michigan's up by 5 points with 1 minute to go, and they lose. Jordan Morgan had a tip-in at the buzzer that would have won it. He missed. It's senior night for Jordan Morgan. I know he's going to want redemption.
Interesting. So a bit of a backdrop there. Certainly the stakes not nearly as high. That game will be on ESPN at 6 Eastern time. We'll have it for you here on Buzzer Beater. Then at 9 Eastern time, the best rivalry in the sport. Duke, North Carolina at Cameron. Part 2, the first one, remember, delayed because of that snowstorm we had that ravaged much of the southeastern United States. They had to wait 8 days extra to play it. Carolina came out with the win, one of a huge rip they've had after starting 1-4 in the ACC. So what can Duke do tonight to be the one team, seemingly in a long time, that could defeat Carolina in conference play?
I would imagine, Zubin, that they will be ready to play in this game. They're going to have memories of North Carolina fans storming the court. They are going to have memories of 4 great years in terms of their seniors. Jabari Parker, this will be his last game in Durham. Mike Krzyzewski, I know, happened to mention that they lost to Wake Forest in their last game. I'm sure they've had tough practices the last few. This is going to be a really important game for Duke. They have everything to play for. I think they win this thing running away.
Interesting. So we'll see it at 9 Eastern time tonight on ESPN. You'll also see it here on ESPN Buzzer Beaters. Speaking of the Blue Devils, it must be great to play college basketball for a living, have the opportunity to do so. You did it. Must be great to even do it at Duke. But for one member of the Blue Devils, as Chris Connolly reports, the toughest opponent he'll ever face isn't the Tar Heels or anybody else in the ACC. It's something nobody could even see.
Cameron Indoor Stadium would seem the most energizing environment imaginable. Yet, in his junior year, scenes like this one could not seem to motivate Andre Dawkins.
It's not a good feeling. If you can't get excited in front of, 9,314, screaming fans, then something's not right.
He seemed like he didn't really want to be bothered. He seemed like he would rather be someplace else.
Dawkins came to Duke in 2009 as a high-scoring guard from Virginia, where he lived with his father. His mother, Tammy, lived in Ohio with Andre's beloved half-sister, Lacey.
It was easy to talk to her, just how things were going with basketball, talk about girls. She really just told me, take your time with it, don't rush into anything crazy.
Those older sisters can be very protective.
Yeah, they can be.
Lacey and Tammy set out to visit Andre at Duke on the morning of December 5th, 2009. They never got there. As the Blue Devils hosted St. John's, Andre was unaware of what had happened on an icy patch of West Virginia highway until his father told him after the game.
He tells me my mom and Lacey had been in an accident and that my mom was fine and Lacey was in critical condition.
Less than a minute later, father and son were in this hallway near the locker room when Andre Sr.'s phone rang.
It was her grandmother, and she said she's gone. And I remember screaming out, "No!" So how do I go back and tell him that she's gone? That's the toughest thing I ever had to do.
It hit me really hard. and I just kind of, broke down. It was devastating realizing that your sister is not here anymore.
Didn't want to talk about it at all. Nothing. Wouldn't say nothing.
Andre was told to take all the time he needed. He returned to the team immediately, keeping his thoughts and emotions to himself. And by his junior year, found his production plummeting. Andre felt listless and disengaged.
There's a picture where we were all celebrating and jumping, and if you look down towards the bottom part of the picture, you could see Andre just sitting on the bench and just a blank look on his face. I think that picture right there defines what he was really going through during that time.
I didn't look forward to really anything. I was just trying to get to the end of the day. I knew that I was in an unfamiliar place, and I didn't know how to get through it, how to get out of it.
The season ended with a loss to 15th seed Lehigh in the NCAA tournament. Andre shooting just 2 of 7 from the floor. Days later, in a meeting with Coach Mike Krzyzewski, Andre was told he would not.
We hope you enjoyed the fast action.
Agency. We've got 5 cities, and 5 cities all
upset, angry.
Moved to Thursday and Friday in order to bring you all the great conference tournament action from ESPN's Championship Week, so be sure to check that out. That's going to do it for the Wendy's Halftime Report. Enjoy the second half.
Oakland, Indianapolis.
is being brought to you by Toyota, official corporate champion of the ACC. By Hardee's. By Geico, official corporate champion of the ACC. And by BB&T, official bank of the ACC. Member FDIC.
This traditionally would be senior day, except for the fact that the Tigers don't have any seniors. So today is alumni day. 80 players, managers, coaches all came back to celebrate here today, and they were honored at halftime. What a terrific weekend here at Clemson. 2,600 kids at Youth Day over in the football stadium. The baseball team beat Virginia Tech 12-2 this afternoon over on the baseball field. Here they've got the big game with Pitt playing for the 5th seed at the ACC tournament. More than 10,000 fans here at Little John Coliseum. A fire marshal game here. What a great weekend.
It really is. You go back to that picture of the alumni. I wonder how they ever lost a game. Eldon Campbell and all his cousins. My goodness, what a great crowd that was.
We had a nice chat with Grayson Marshall before the ball game. Oh, what a great day this is.
Well, it really is. This is a great day for Tiger basketball, great day for the Tiger family. But, you know, you're playing a Pitt team that's not going to give up. They're a very, very proud team. They know they need to win today to solidify themselves. I think, again, from a NCAA tournament standpoint, I think they're in. But you want to go into the ACC tournament playing your best basketball.
Yeah, and Jamie Dixon's been preaching rebounding. And, of course, the other night against NC State gave up 16 second-chance points and were outscored in the paint. Here they were outscored 16-11 in the first half to Clemson, and Clemson hit 5 threes. Tigers with the ball, the shot clock down to 3. They're going to get it off just barely and turn it over.
That was a great defensive possession there by Pittsburgh. Their ability to shut them down is going to be key for the rest of the game.
That's 8 turnovers by Clemson. Ball was knocked out of his hands. They called double dribble, though. That's 6 turnovers now for Pitt.
I think if the referees could look at that on replay, I don't know that they would make that call.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Looked like it was knocked out of his hands, but even a fumble can be picked up without it being called double dribble.
Jamie Dixon just grimaces. Here's KJ McDaniels. A running one-hander is short.
He got up in the air to pass the ball, and that's Cardinals in.
And the missed dunk by Young, but he's fouled.
Well, when you come down and you've got numbers and you feel like you got men on your left and your right, your ability as a fifth-year senior like Lamar Patterson is to look one way and give it back the other. The only thing that was wrong with that is Young has got to put that ball down. You're better off sometimes just laying it off the glass, securing the basket as opposed to trying to dunk the ball.
Foul on Blossing game. Hey, check out the ACC Fan Fest at the tournament next week. It's located just outside the Greensboro Coliseum, the main entrance. Hey, enjoy the live entertainment, giveaways, mascots, players. Come on by and see us. It's going to be fun. That's the ACC Fan Fest next week at the ACC tournament.
ACC is much more than basketball games. It's an event. It's a family happening.
It's a happening here. 7-point game now. All of a sudden, it's gotten quiet in Little John. Tigers look up, 15 on the shot clock. McDaniels takes it into the paint. Tries to save it, and it starts a break.
3-on-1.
Panthers. James Robinson with the finish.
This is almost the way the game started, the original part of our game. Turnovers by Clemson, fast breaks by Pitt, timeout by Clemson.
Brad Brunell with a 30-second timeout.
It's closed quickly. You've got turnovers. That was an ill-advised shot there by KJ. Threw the ball in. Pitt got it. It's 3-on-1 coming down. Rod Hall off the bad decision there by KJ McDaniels. Got no defensive transition. Got back. Great passes there and laid it up. Thus 38-33.
because Pitt has outscored Clemson 8-2 going back to the end of the first half. Haviland and the ACC Network. Hey, they're giving you fans a chance to pick this year's All-ACC team. Don't miss your chance to cast votes for your favorite players at theacc.com/fanvote. Enter your chance to win a VIP trip to the ACC tournament. Compliments of Haviland. See if the Tigers can get into a rhythm here, Dave.
Well, I'm not sure exactly. They got a juke way in early. He was in actually before the timeout.
Lost out of bounds by Pitt. That'll give Clemson a new 35.
Marcus Harrison, I don't know if there's anything wrong with him or not, but that was an early substitution.
That was the Tigers all around the rim that time. They had blocked out nicely, just couldn't handle the rebound when it came off.
Tim, if anybody thought a Jamie Dixon coach team was going to run away and hide, they don't know Jamie Dixon. He's got his team ready to play in the second half. Made whatever adjustments he wants to make. Clemson certainly having trouble getting their shots off.
McDaniels. Jokwa. Little spin move. Put back once, twice. Good pressure on the boards. And Noko finishes.
Yeah, 2 offensive rebounds. That can't make Jamie Dixon happy.
Robinson takes it way back up top. And the whistle and the foul on Ajokwa. That's his first.
We talked early on about one of the keys to both teams is going to be their ability to rebound offensively. And, you know, you got 2 tips at it. Noko put it in with his right hand, slipped inside the Pitt defense and got it up.
New 35. Pitt hadn't had a signature win in the ACC, but they can sweep the Clemson Tigers with a win here today.
And that would certainly be signature.
Patterson. Offensive. That's his first.
Well, when you look at that play, Lamar Patterson was playing one-on-one basketball by himself. I mean, it was just clearly he was going to get the shot off that time. And he actually banged into McDaniel trying to back him down a little bit. Referee caught him.
You know, Dave, we were talking earlier in the ball game how Patterson doesn't force things, but you can see the frustration a little bit on him as Zana chases it over the desk here and almost coach trying to take an offensive charge.
The Pitt team right now is alive defensively. They're playing much better defensively than they did in the first half. If their offense catches up with them, the game is going to tighten up. The thing I would worry about right now if I was a Clemson fan would be their ability or inability right now to score.
Blossom game for 3.
That may take care of that.
He's got 12 points.
And that's really an unusual source of points for the Tigers.
The average is only 5.
And again, I wonder about DeMarcus Harrison.
Pitt looks a little disheveled. So Robinson will start over.
Pittsburgh trading off Lamar Patterson's attempts to catch it.
Shot clock at 5. Oh, what a nice play. As Wright takes it to the rack and left hands it in. His first bucket of the afternoon. And comes right back, and Wright is charged with a foul. Cameron Wright picks up his first. 15-15 to play. Littlejohn is rocking. By that, network games, video, scores, stats, and more. Visit the ACC.com/apps to download. Well, we've got everything for you. As you look at that, you can see it. And today, 2 lucky fans will be awarded a dinner package at Outback for a year. So enter today. All you have to do is just go to the ACC.com and enter for your chance to win Outback dinner for a year. Well, 15-15 to play, 43-35 Clemson. You know, young Artis Newkirk, they're the freshmen, along with Chris Jones, a redshirt freshman that Jamie Dixon's been relying on more and more. But today, Wright just 1 point, Artis 0, Randall 1 point, and Jones no point. So, I mean, they're putting a lot of pressure on Patterson today.
That was a great defensive play by Patterson. Speaking of Lamar, and you know, he is doing a great deal of work there. And there's a 3.
Patterson knocks down the 3.
And he is the kind of guy that you can go to, but I think he needs some help. And I'd like to see Pitt go into Zana a little bit, challenge Noko, try to get a foul or 2 on him, get him out of the game, and take over the interior play a little bit.
5-point game. McDaniels banks it in. Nice little hook shot.
He's very, very versatile. He can shoot the ball from 3 off the catch. He can dribble, get it in there off of 2 bounces and elevate. And now he shows he's got the post-up game to go with it.
McDaniels right on schedule. Has 12 points, averages 17.
And Lamar Patterson is really working hard, but I'm going to say he's going to wear himself out if he's not careful. He doesn't get some help here.
Patterson again with a 3 ball over the backboard and out of bounds. Jamie Dixon is saying that it hit the top of the backboard.
Well, Lamar Patterson, he's got a great feel for what to do, and you can see that he was inside of 3 and backed out so that that shot that he took was a 3. Took another 3 on the next possession down.
Jamie is really upset. He's saying that ball hit when it went out. It did hit.
It actually did. Jamie Dixon's face is red as a South Carolina tomato.
How about that? Bottom line is Clemson gets it back. Tigers pick up their defense, extend it. Skip pass inside. This is going to be the foul call on Zana. Reaching around.
Well, he's certainly, Jamie Dixon realized that ball did hit there, and he is right on all of the officials out there. Anybody that'll listen, you can see that it does hit the top of the backboard. It does go to the back. He was right. They missed it.
That's 2 fouls on Zana. McDaniels working on Wright. He feels like he can take him to the basket. 50-50 ball. Zana comes up with it.
James Robinson is setting the defense. It is nice that he's doing that. Here's Zana.
He takes it at the basket, partially blocked, starts a break for Clemson.
And I don't think that was exactly the kind of shot that I was thinking he should make.
Roper for 3. Jordan Roper off the bench with 7 points.
That was a big shot for the Clemson Tigers.
Pushes the lead back to 10. Nothing coming easy today for Pitt. Panthers having a tough time finding a rhythm. Back outside, Wright buries it.
Yeah, he's not the perennial 3-point shooter you look to, but it was certainly a timely basket. They've got to get some defensive stops and some deflections.
Tough shot by Roper this time.
Yeah, it was his left hand, and the defense was coming off that backside there. It was not a clear shot.
He felt Newkirk the whole time, made him a little uneasy. And here's the foul underneath on Noko.
That's the kind of attack I would like to see him make with Zana. Roper catches that thing. He knew what to do with it, let that ball go. It was a quick in, but the answer comes from Cameron Wright off the backside. Both of those players giving you the three that's unexpected. Jamie Dixon, Brad Burnell. Very happy with that. Noko's out now. Let's go to Zana.
So this will be Pitt basketball. Look at the intenseness of the two coaches. Wow. Final regular season game of the year. Fighting for the 5th seed in the ACC tournament.
They certainly know everything about that and the importance of that. But, you know, in Clemson's case, you're looking for a 20th win. You're looking for the 11th conference win. You're looking for a 5th seat. And you're looking for a bid to the NCAA tournament.
Newkirk forced and fouled by Roper. And for Roper, that's his first. 11:48 to play. It's a good one at Littlejohn. Toyota dealers are unlocking the ACC archives. You can relive over 90 classic games, all for free. 18 years ago today, the Tigers played North Carolina in the ACC tournament quarterfinals. Greg Buckner scored the game-winning dunk with 0.6 seconds left to beat UNC 75-73 in dramatic fashion. Visit theacc.com/vault. It's brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. 48-41 Clemson, and the band plays on. Hey, the 2014 ACC Legends will be honored at this year's basketball tournament in Greensboro. It all starts next week. The Men's Legends Brunch will be a week from today, Saturday, March 15th. For tickets and more information on this year's Legends, visit theacc.com. Search Legends. Always one of the highlights of the tournament week. It is just so much fun. You get up close and personal with all the players. It is a terrific day. This foul will be against Clemson. It will send Artis to the line. The foul is on Jumbo. That's his second. And he makes the first. Closed captioning for ACC basketball provided by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. It's bow time.
Tim, you can almost sense when Noko goes out, the interior defense for the Tigers not near as strong. Panthers take the ball right at him, that's the foul.
Artis now with 6 points and a rebound. And it's a 5-point game again.
Marcus Harrison back in after a long time on the bench.
Wazana had good positioning, then moved aside. And the foul.
You look at the Tiger lineup right now, you have to ask yourself where are the points coming from.
Foul is on Artis. That's his second. He and Zana had a good double team going and then just opened the gate.
Well, you got Roper in to shoot the ball.
Another good double team. Roper with the wraparound, but the timeout was called before.
Well, when you throw the ball into the corner like that and there's a quick corner trap, that timeout came from Brad Brown-Allen. Was a wise one that it was.
Well, it is March, and that means it's Happy Hoops Days at the ACC Digital Network. You can count on the guys there to bring you all the best highlights and must-see moments at the ACCDN or visit theacc.com. It's the ACC Digital Network, and it's brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Happy Hoops Days. It's March, and madness is right around the corner. Coach is working overtime here this afternoon.
Well, it's nervous time for Brad Brownell right now. You know, Jamie Dixon has had his team to claw back into this thing after being down double digits, low double digits, but still has clawed back in. And in all honesty, they played harder than Clemson has this half.
Got the feeling this crowd's a little anxious too, because they've had opportunities but haven't opened this thing up. Still a 5-point game.
You've got 4 non-starters in the game for Clemson right now.
Oh, the crowd anxious there. They thought they almost had a 5. Roper has it knocked away. Clemson comes away with it. A lot of contact, no whistle. Blossom game is fouled. How about that sequence?
Well, that's one I wouldn't want to be a play-by-play guy and have to describe that one. But that was like nobody wanted the basketball. Juco takes the ball to the basket. There was a foul called on that one. There could have been one on those several times over there by Jamie Dixon.
Foul was on Patterson, his second. As Jokor knocks down the first. He's only a 57% free throw shooter. He's now hit 9 of his 15 free throws this year. Brad Brownell going to his bench.
4 of the starters coming back. And I think that's a wise move because the lineup that he had in there gave his starters rest but didn't give them any points.
Sadi Zake goes out. Zayte will take the bench. John Bowe goes out. Jokor misses the second. Patterson right at the basket, banks it in.
He's got a freshman guarding him, and I think he felt it.
He now has 12 points, and with 10:42 to play, it is a 4-point ball game. Taken away. Nice drop pass to Patterson. It's a 9-1 Pitt run.
Well, everything comes off of defense, but then this time with the clock running down, good left hand showing the ability to take the ball to the basket. And as he comes up the court here, he knew that he had no shot there, but continuing to run with him, Lamar Patterson catches the ball nicely and in stride takes it right to the hoop for the basket.
Jokor was called for the personal. Patterson has a chance to add to it. He now has 15 points, and it's a 1-point game.
And a lot of that came with Rod Hall out of the game. He's back now, settled a Clemson team down. I'm not sure what's the deal with DeMarcus Harrison. They took him out again, but must feel like he's not playing well, or maybe he's hurt. I doubt it. I think you're more concerned about how he's playing, but they need him. They need him to come back and make a shot.
Panthers on a 10-1 run. Shot clock at 8. Roper. This will be for 2. Hot hand. He's in double figures now, Coach.
Well, you don't need an offense for that. Just step up and take the shot and make it.
Gave him a 3 on that. I thought he was on the line. 4-point game.
Great defense by Noko.
Dangerous pass. They get it back.
Now you got the Little John crowd live.
Patterson to beat the clock. Great job by Zana. Underneath. And the foul. So Cameron Wright will go to the line to shoot 2.
And the Clemson team gave up on the defensive rebound, and thus and the Pitt team did not. They went and got the offensive rebound. Of course, they had a spring loose underneath. Wright took the ball up, could have made it, giving them a 3-point opportunity the old-fashioned way.
Jamie Dixon thought Patterson was fouled when he took the 3. Misses the first. Maybe more importantly, as Roper has 2 personals. 9:09 to play.
Wright not the best free thrower, but you do like the fact that he's giving them a lift here in the second half.
Makes it a 1-possession game. So Zana goes out. Young comes in.
Makes them a little smaller, Tim, particularly on defense. Offensively is not a problem. Young can step out and shoot it.
Newkirk comes in, and Patterson's going to get a rest.
With Young and Artis, they got to somehow or another they've got to secure the boards.
One-possession game. You're getting a little antsy here, Little John. KJ McDaniels looks at it. Good defense here. And McDaniels is fouled. Wright had good defensive position. KJ went around him and Wright couldn't catch him.
The Pitt staff claims that Wright is their best defender. They've got him on KJ McDaniels. It was good early on there. He didn't move quite as quickly as he should have there at the end on the drive. And KJ McDaniels, if he sees an opening, he'll take it every time.
McDaniels 12 points, 4 of 13 from the field. Also has 3 assists and 2 rebounds.
Well, the drive, he comes back at it to his right there, and he takes it, and he's in the motion for his basket. So, by the rule, it's a good call.
Yeah, they whistled the reach in there as McDaniels makes the second.
You got to look at him as all ACC, don't you, Tim? I mean, he's an all ACC player.
He is a terrific player. Fans are going to vote on all that. Nice look. Right. 2-point game.
There's a great screen there by Michael Young.
Raymond Steins is going to talk to the players. It's getting a little chippy. They want to settle this down right now.
Well, this is good refereeing. It's Randy Steins realizes, oh yeah, he got right in his face. Actually, I don't know that he did anything wrong other than get ready to play defense, but I guess sometimes it's how you feel, that kind of karma.
Well, it is intense in here. This is a game that carries a lot of meaning to both these ball clubs.
And you certainly didn't think it would be any less. You got 2 teams who play great defense, who rebound the ball. Points come hard. They're in the 50s now, which I'm surprised is pretty good.
Keep in mind, Clemson was picked in the preseason down near the bottom of the ACC. Here they are fighting for the 5th seed in the tournament. The bucket will count. He'll go to the line for 1 more.
Well, he's found his way. Cameron Wright is a good defender, but he's not strong enough to keep KJ McDaniels out of the middle. So he's taking it in there unless he can get some help from Zana, who's not in the game. Artis or Young, he's going to continue to drive and score.
Lamar Patterson comes back into the game and Wright goes out. He's got 3 personal fouls. Zana will come back.
That's a good move. It gives him more protection at the rim. But really what you've got to do to stop KJ McDaniels, you've got to stop him on the perimeter. You let him get that deep, he's awfully hard to stop. He's going to get fouled even if he doesn't score.
McDaniels is an 84% free throw shooter, too. He is the only Tiger to score more than 10 points a game. He has 16 today.
And they're going to give him a break. That is, KJ McDaniels are going to get a break. DeMarcus Harrison in the game. I'm going to watch his body language. I'm not sure he's ready to play. Let's see what happens with him.
Under 8 minutes to play. Patterson.
Splash. Guarded by DeMarcus Harrison.
And it's a 2-point game. 18 for Patterson. He's one above his average. Into the corner. And Pitt has a chance to tie or take the lead. Patterson, nice pass to Zana.
Sometimes players like that are more worried about the shot getting blocked than they are making it. I think that's what happened there.
This will start a transition. And you know Patterson's going to the rack with it. And we're tied at 56.
You turn the ball over like that, live ball fashion, is tough to get back defensively. Defensive transition is so important in games like this. Easy baskets, baskets that are hard earned, really make a difference.
Pitt's on a heck of a run here. Roper. Remember now, the largest lead for Clemson was 11 points. Patterson with a lazy pass turns it over.
I know he wants to give him a rest, but I don't think McDaniel's going to be on that bench long. They need him in the game.
DeMarcus Harrison out front. Patterson jumps him. Patterson, I think, was trying to get that 5 count on him. 6 on the shot clock. And Harrison right to the basket. Right down Main Street. Too easy.
That's got to be a welcome sight to Brad Burnell. He's been MIA most of the day.
Tigers by 2.
10 minutes win time. 5 minutes to go. 5.5. Win time. NCAA tournament time.
They are on their feet at Little John. Tough shot. Tigers the other way. Great follow by Jordan Roper.
Yeah, Newkirk went to sleep on the backside, didn't block him out.
Oh my. Pitt was on an 18-8 run, and then this. It was tied, and the Tigers now lead. We'll return after this word from your local ACC station. animated, intense game at Little John Coliseum. We were tied at 56, and the Tigers have now gone on a 4-0 run. Tigers in the first half shot 58%, 5 of 10 beyond the arc.
Well, one of the things that has happened is that Clemson has gotten great play off the bench. Roper has now got 12 points, and for Clemson, they've scored 18. They've got 18 points coming off the bench to only 7 for the Pitt Panthers.
And our game summary presented by Valero.
Newkirk has not had a great day scoring, and the streak of 7 consecutive threes are broken, but he didn't hit that free throw.
He's only 9 of 22 now for the season at the free throw line.
And that's his first point of the day.
Meanwhile, Patterson has come to life. He had 7 points in the first half. He's got 13 here in the second.
He has. I'm glad you mentioned that, because he's had very little help as far as scoring is concerned.
Look at Newkirk stepping up and knocking both of them down.
I don't know that Pitt can win it unless Lamar Patterson gets some help from somebody.
Newkirk goes out. Artis comes back in.
James Robinson, Cameron Wright. Those are possibilities. Somebody's got to step up and help Patterson.
Under 5 minutes to play now. It's a 2-point game. Roper again. Boy, has he been hot today, but he can't hit that one. The final Saturday of the regular season, and what a way to end this regular season. These two clubs going after each other. It has certainly been entertaining and a great crowd here at Clemson.
Jamie Dixon calls the play from the side.
Shot clock now at 10. Patterson sees it.
He will not give this up. Yeah, he did.
Picked up his dribble. Goes to Robinson. New 35. Jamie Dixon playing on the road now. Take a little time off that clock with a new 35. No hurry.
Good ball reversal.
Now the shot clock is at 10. Patterson right to the basket.
The crowd's not real pleased with that, but in truth, Noko tripped himself and fell.
Second tie of the game. K.J. McDaniels.
There's a great screen there that time. Blossom game. Noko cleared the way. K.J. McDaniels saw the opening and, as you say, took it down Main Street.
Timeout Pitt. Wow. Let's take another look at that Patterson drive and see if there was a foul.
Well, time was
you're
running
right.
down, as you know. And here he goes, and he stepped right on his own. He stepped on Patterson's foot. There was no foul there. If anything, Patterson might have hooked K.J. McDaniels, but no foul on Noko there. He fell, opened up the well. And again, down, Robinson had a chance to step in there and stop that, but he didn't do that. K.J. McDaniels took it all the way home.
This is all a prelude to the ACC tournament. It's coming up at the Greensboro Coliseum. Starting next Wednesday, the ACC Network is where you can watch all 14 games. Syracuse, Pitt, Notre Dame, they make their first appearance in the tournament. Miami looks to defend its title. We begin coverage Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Sure hope you're with us. Take you all the way to the championship game on Sunday. For more information on the tournament, all you have to do is go to theacc.com. It all starts next week in Greensboro.
Tim, we've got the most important 3 minutes and 20 seconds of the season for Clemson. Almost the same for Pitt. A little more for Clemson than Pitt, but important for both teams.
They're playing for that number 5 seed. Zana can't handle it, so it's turned over. Right out of the break, it's turned over. And that won't make Jamie Dixon very happy. 10 turnovers now for the Panthers. We'll be back.
At three-point shooting for Clemson. They normally make 5 a game. They're now 8 for 15, and in the second half, they're 3 for 6. That's the difference right now. Slim as it is, that's the difference.
And this is a huge game for both of these clubs. AT&T Fast Analysis will focus in on the three-point shooting. This fan base here is fired up. It's a 2-point game with 3:11 to play. They're playing for the 5th seed in the tournament. Look at this.
Well, you say 5th seed, you know, people might have a tendency to say, so what? It makes a big difference when you're looking at a conference as big as the ACC's, and whether you play on Wednesday or Thursday, and it is a huge implication here.
And as you saw there, Clemson going for a 20-win season for only the 13th time ever in the history of this basketball program at Clemson.
I think they're setting up KJ McDaniels.
Under 3 minutes to play. Long rebound. Patterson has it taken right back away. Blocked by Zana. How about that little sequence?
Well, he was lucky on that. I think he did have a 2-on-2 move, but easily could have pulled that ball back out, run some clock, and maybe got a better shot.
DeMarcus Harrison with the steal. And a new 35 for the Tigers.
Still plenty of time to win it and plenty of time to lose it.
One of these cats is going to move ahead to the 5th seed. Will it be the Tigers or the Panthers?
McDaniels took the shot. Really wasn't a great shot. Too many people around him.
Zana was fighting down low. He wanted that ball.
Now, will anybody shoot other than Lamar Patterson?
Guarantee you Zana was begging for it, but here's Patterson. Lazy pass again.
Shot clock.
Down to 7. Give and go. Patterson. Too strong. Patterson's tired. Dragging himself back down the court.
Clemson ought to go ahead and play. Don't worry too much about running some clock right now. There's going to be at least 2 or 3 more possessions.
That's what Brad Brunell just told him. Move. Let's run it.
Take the shot when it comes.
Shot clock down to 8. Harrison pull up 3. Air ball. Taken back. At the buzzer.
Maybe the biggest basket of the season.
KJ McDaniels as the shot clock was about to expire.
And he may be more fresh than is Lamar Patterson.
62 seconds to play. Patterson. And they're back on their feet at Little John. This is a foul by Cameron Wright. That's his 4th personal. Boy, what a great play there to get the rebound and put it back before the shot clock expired.
Yeah, we've always said one of the toughest people to block out an offensive rebound like that is being able to get that and put it back up. They keep blocking you out. He shot that ball left-handed, showing his versatility.
Well, and Pitt, that defensive stand there for the first 33 seconds was our Haviland defensive shield, and then he follows it up with the bucket.
Somebody is throwing things on the court. I can't imagine it being a Clemson play.
So Hall at the line. He has only 4 points here today.
Clemson leading the ACC with 26% on the defensive average.
Hall missed the free throw. There's no hurry for Patterson. I don't know why he's rushing. Wright running one-handed. Wright gets it back. Young halfway down, and Wright loses it out of bounds. What was the hurry?
Well, You know, with 29 seconds on the clock, they got a 4-point deficit there. I guess they felt like they needed at least 2 possessions. The last shot that Young took, I think he pulled back. You got to believe that he was going to make that shot as he gets a little bit older. Come up the court now. Patterson trying as hard as he possibly can to get a shot off. There's Robinson's shot. Didn't happen. Out to Young. Got his feet up under and took the shot. Nothing there. Knocked out by Robinson.
Actually, they got pretty good looks at it, but really didn't have to hurry like that. Put Hall back on the line. You still have a 1-possession game with 29 seconds left. The 2014 ACC Men's Basketball Tournament opening day presented by Food Lion. It's coming up March 12th. Catch a triple header of basketball, a performance by country music artist Scotty McCreery, and a whole lot more. That's coming up at the ACC Tournament in Greensboro. Just visit theacc.com today to learn more and get your tickets for opening day. It's presented by Food Lion. You are watching the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports. This whole arena is rocking. Pitt's last field goal was at 3:36. That was a layup by Patterson. Final 29 seconds. And the foul is called on Zana. If you're going to foul, it took him a little long to do that.
Well, you got to foul as quickly as you possibly can.
Yeah,
they threw the ball in the coffin corner over there. They got the double team. But DeMarcus Harrison showed some toughness, got it out.
That's where Pitt needed to hurry, right there, to get that foul. Rod Hall goes back to the line. Roper goes out. Blossom Game comes back in.
Yeah, you got your best defensive team. Actually, your starting team in the game right now if you're Clemson.
Meanwhile, Hall is a terrific free throw shooter. Normally 76% at the line.
Missed his last shot, though, I believe.
He sure did, and that's what Pitt's banking on again. It's a 2-possession game. Hall makes the free throw. He's the Tiger leader with 114 assists. He only has 5 points here today, averages 9. This is the second. 2-possession game, 21 seconds to go. Robinson. And the foul.
Now, the one thing you did not want if you're Brad Burnell is a foul. Stop the clock, let them catch up with the clock not moving. Usually that's the one thing you get.
So Blossom Game with the foul. 17 seconds left. And Pitt trying to climb back from 5 down.
And they could get within 1 possession here if he makes both.
Makes the first.
Tim, I look back over the years I've been doing this with you. We rarely have a bad game. We certainly did not today. It was a great one.
I agree, partner. James Robinson, the sophomore from Mitchellville, Maryland, DeMatha High School, makes them both. He's got 8 points, 4 assists, and it's a 1-possession game.
And the coaches continue to shuffle players. Clemson getting their best offensive team in. Pittsburgh, their best defensive team in.
Now Pitt needs a turnover. Clock continues to roll. There's a foul. I'm not sure he wanted the foul there. They had the trap.
Well, they didn't want to foul McDaniels. I know he's an 80+% free thrower. It got it back to Blossom Game, and then the foul came. It took 5 seconds to get it done, but they still got plenty of time.
Michael Young winced when he made the foul, committed the foul. So Blossom Game goes to the line, and he's only a 55% free throw shooter. But he's been strong here today. One of his best games of the year.
So if you pitch, you got to block out. Make sure you get the rebound if there is one.
Makes the first.
Big one.
Huge free throw. He's played a terrific game today. He's got 13 points, 5 of 8 from the field. And a career-high 14 points, and he's got another free throw coming.
He did step up. Harrison has been the guy at that spot that's been scoring the points. Didn't do it today. Blossomgame, as you said, has certainly been instrumental.
Makes them both. Maybe Katie bar the door now. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Clemson. 4.4 seconds left. I don't believe that's going to be enough time. And the crowd back at its feet. And now chanting air ball. Patterson, 3. Yes. 2.4 seconds left. It's a 2-point game. Hold on.
Well, you got to look for a 5-second call here with 2.4 on the clock. If that ball gets in and there's one dribble, the game will be over. So immediately you got to try to keep the ball out of everybody's hands and create a turnover. If you're Clemson, you want to try to get the ball as deep as you possibly can. You don't want to catch it too close to the baseline. Causes double teams. And they're going to get their best ball handlers in. Roper just reported for somebody. Pitt's had some difficult losses this year. Some of them very, very, very close. Balls that went in for them, some that did not go in. This one, particularly the famous Tyler Ennis shot from near half court that won the game for Syracuse when they were on their famous roll.
Yeah, we talked about that, how devastating those losses were. You had Duke, you had Virginia, you had Syracuse, and then the deflating losses with the UNC, Florida State, NC State. So, I mean, they've been close all year. But welcome to the ACC Pitt. I mean, this is the way it is more than not.
Well, you could talk about close losses, and they do take a toll on your team. But I tell you, that's great coaching that can keep his team attuned to what's going on. Jamie Dixon's done that. Through all of those close losses, his team has continued to play. They're only 2 points down right now. And again, you want to give Brad Burnell a lot of credit as well. Remember, his team lost by nearly 30 points to Pitt, up at Pitt. He's brought his team back within 2.4 seconds of having the 5th seed in the ACC tournament, his 20th win, a great win before capacity crowd right here in Littlejohn.
Almost a historical win for Brad Brunell. Only the 13th time ever a Clemson team has gotten to 20 wins in a season if it holds up here in the next 2.4 seconds.
They cannot let the ball get in bounds.
Almost a 5-second count. The ball is loose. This is good. We're tied. Oh, my. Josh Newkirk, the ball came right to him, and it looked like he got it out of his hands in time. We'll see if he beat the light.
Well, I don't think there's any question he beat the light, but I may be proven wrong on this. But the one thing you have to do is get the ball in bounds. And sometimes you have too many guys close to the ball. They get nervous, they can't catch it. You got to clear them out and get sometimes just 1 or 2 guys up there.
He got nervous at the 5 count. And he came right to him, and Newkirk with the jumper buries it. How about Newkirk today with 4 points, 2 of the biggest of the game right there.
I don't know. It may be closer than I thought. He took the one.
No, it's still on his fingertips.
I don't know. We're going to want to see this. We got one of our refereeing crew here.
You tell me, Coach, it looked like it was still on his fingertips when the light went. We've got Raymond Steins is here at the desk with us. He's looking for more angles. You see Les Jones and Dwayne Gladden on that side. Raymond Steins here looking at our monitor. Here's another look.
Not able to see exactly.
It's close. They're looking to be able to see the clock, and from that angle you cannot see the top of the clock. And they really need to see the clock before there is video evidence. But the call on the court was a good basket, so it's got to be indisputable video evidence to overturn it. Boy, is that close. They put the clock in now. Go ahead and take my monitor, fellas. Look at that. Take another look. as they continue to look at it here at our table, they're talking about this is awfully close.
I believe
it was good.
I thought it was good. I did.
I thought it was still
in his hands.
I thought it was still on his fingertips,
Yeah,
but
it was
we're
out of
not
his
making
hands.
the call.
No, we're not. But I'm pretty sure it was maybe inches, but I think it was out of his hands. I do.
This is really close.
Nerve-wracking. And, you know, for Clemson, you know, Brad Brunell right now has to be talking to his team about if we go in overtime, this game is not lost. We can still win this basketball game. Because you could immediately see all 5 Clemson players, their heads dropped as soon as that ball went through the basket. All 5 players. So right now he's fighting defeatism. You know, when you're winning, you can't lose. When you're losing, it seems you can't win. Right now, they hadn't been to a 5th seed, and I don't know when. And right now they feel that has slipped out of their hands. So Brad Brunell's got to be talking to them about if we go in overtime, we got to play hard. We got to win this game maybe a second time.
Watch the clock on the backboard. 1/10 of a second there. Ball still on his fingers. 0. I don't know. I think it still was in his fingertips. There's 0. And it looks like it's still on his fingertips. You don't agree?
I think it's a shot. I don't know. You know, and that's the beauty of what we're doing.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You think one thing, I think another.
But if we're sitting here and we can't tell by the replay, I mean, what are the officials supposed to do when there really needs to be indisputable video evidence to overturn what was called on the court?
And I think they called it good, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, because the scoreboard says 67-67.
Well, it's an interesting thing. You know, these are 2 teams that you pull for because they never give up. They're very much alike. They want to get it right. You got 2 great coaches here.
This is a good officiating crew, too. Les Jones, Raymond Steins, Dwayne Gladden. These are good officials. They're going to call the coaches up. How do you explain this to the coaches?
Carefully. Carefully. Brad Brunell he's given that orange coat to somebody else. Here comes Ramey Steins. I think he's going to give us the verdict.
So the clocks that you see are different. Yeah. So overtime. It's tied at 67. No, the bucket's going to count. He said the clock he sees on television is different than the clock he's seeing on the other side. And there's not indisputable video evidence. See, we've got 1/10 of a second there, and it doesn't correspond with what's above the basket. So the 2 clocks in the arena are different, and because of the difference in the clocks, it's going to be indisputable video evidence is not there to overturn it. So there you have it. This bucket counts. We are tied at 67, and we'll be back for the 5-minute overtime. And the folks at Littlejohn have to gear back up. A lot of folks left thinking the game was over.
Well, shame on them.
Deadlocked at 67. We're ready to go into overtime. We had 2 lead changes in the regulation. The third tie of the game sent us into this extra period. The overtime records for both these teams. Pitt is 1-0 this season. And, of course, Clemson won last week in double overtime against Maryland.
Tim, we're going to find out all you need to know about Clemson.
And Clemson is 1-1 in overtimes. Wright picks up his dribble. Robinson brings it back out front with 14 on the shot clock. The crowd's still in it, those that are still here. Many thought it was over. Patterson drains a 3 to start the overtime, and that puts a smile on his face.
Well, he's a fifth-year senior, as we've said so many times today. He wants to end up his career as good as he possibly can, but he's going to be challenged. KJ McDaniels is not going to give in that easily.
He only had 7 points in the first half, Patterson did. He now has 28. Blossom Gain draws iron. And you can feel the air coming out of this place. Robinson to Young. They pop Patterson out. They can't get it to him. Good defense.
The 4 players other than Patterson are not even looking at the basket.
DeMarcus Harrison doing a nice job. There's the pass underneath to Wright and finishes. And just like that, it's 72-67 Pitt.
Now they can't panic now. The Tigers have got to score a basket here. They've got to get a good shot.
Loss of game. Zana with another rebound. KJ McDaniel's shot just drew iron. 10 rebounds for Zana. He's 2 points away from another double-double. Robinson brings it out front. Ten on the shot clock. Nice pass to Robinson, who fumbles it. Gets it back. Shot clock at 3. And Wright buries it. Crowd thought maybe it touched the line.
That would hurt. 7-point game, 2.5.
Timeout, Clemson. Patterson comes up big. James Robinson comes up big. And look at this.
And we talked about the confidence and how poised Pittsburgh looked. Starts off with Patterson on the 3, and then the 2 there by Newkirk. And of course, going off that backside.
Now with 28 points, 21 of those here in the second half, or at least since halftime. Now that we're in the overtime period. In overtime, Pittsburgh 3 for 3 from the field.
Well, we said that you're going to learn a lot about the Clemson team right now, and you really will.
McDaniels is fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And that's one of the best things that could have happened outside of making a 3. The foul, stop clock, best free throw on the line now. Chance to close this thing down to 5 points. Play good defense, and you'll get yourself back in it.
McDaniels an 84% free throw shooter. Hey fans, check out the ACC Fan Fest at the tournament. It's located just outside the Greensboro Coliseum main entrance. Enjoy live entertainment, games, giveaways, mascots, former player appearances, fun for the entire family, all for free. That's next week at the ACC tournament. Fan Fest makes them both, and it's 74-69.
1-3-1 zone. First time we've seen that. See how Pitt attacks it.
After the shock of it all, the fans now starting to get back into it. Here's Robinson. Young. Ball's still loose. Last touch by Clemson.
You know, sometimes you want things so badly you just can't get it done, and that was the case there with Clemson. They hustled as much as they possibly could. 2 or 3 guys got their hands on it. Ball goes off. White Tigers. Panthers got the ball.
2:10 to play in the ball game in overtime. New 35 for Pitt. Patterson just working it around the horn, trying to shorten the game, melt the clock. Nice pass to Zana. What a great look by Patterson.
Well, you know, again, if he's not all ACC, I haven't seen one all year. I mean, he's doing everything. He's rebounding, he's defending, he's shooting, and he's assists. He's really, really played well today, as has KJ McDaniels.
And Zana stepped up. He now has a double-double. Awesome game. Can't get the roll. Well, the folks down here in Clemson, they want this win so badly, almost historical. And they're just frustrated with a game they thought was in the bank.
And it really was, or so they thought. They're doing a really nice job now moving the ball.
Zana kicks it way back outside again, and the foul will be on Rod Hall.
With 11 seconds on the shooting clock.
.112 remaining in the overtime period. Boy, Robinson's been good at the line too, 82%. Misses that one. The announcer jinx.
You don't believe in that.
No, I don't. But you'd be surprised at the mail. He's got 8 points, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 7 assists today. That makes the second.
And with that, Jamie Dixon's up, reminding his team, do not foul.
72 seconds remain in the overtime period. Pitt has taken control. Panthers trying to go to 23-8 on the season, 11-7 for the year. Clemson 0 for 4 field goals in overtime.
1 minute remaining in overtime.
And the whistle and the foul. Clemson Tigers, if this score holds, will be 19-11, and they will not get to 20 wins, which they were trying to do for only the 13th time in the history of the school. Zana picks up his 4th with 60 seconds remaining in the overtime. McDaniels makes it a 7-point game.
Can't help but go back and look at the end of the regulation when the ball was ruled good. at the heads of the Clemson players as they dropped and walked back to the basket.
2-possession game. Now that's a situation that Pitt was in at the end of regulation with only 20 seconds left. And the immediate foul. And Michael Young will go to the line. Foul on McDaniels. Here's the end of the regulation. Now, was this out of his hand in time? They said it was too close to call. They initially called the bucket good. See, the red light is on. I thought it was still on his fingertips. You thought it was good.
I thought it was good. I don't know. You know, and it's
but it's the clock.
It's the clock,
not the light.
Reasonable people can agree to disagree.
Oh, I think even the officials kept looking at it, and it turns out that the two clocks that they compared were out of sync, and that in one of the clocks there was time left.
2-possession.
Paul for 3. Yes! 1-possession game.
Now you want to make sure you play this possession out. Do not foul.
Back to Patterson, and he is fouled. The Joko fouls him, and so Patterson will go to the line. Patterson is a 76% free throw shooter.
I don't know if they had a timeout or not, but you know, Brad Brunell could have called a timeout there to get his team over to remind him not to foul. As soon as the Joko fouled, he held out his hands in desperation as saying, why did you foul? Particularly a guy like Patterson.
And now, Coach, there is plenty of time. Lamar Patterson approaching his career high. He has 29. His career high is 30. Makes them both.
No doubt about either one of those.
Paul gets another look. And a 2-possession game. Now this does become critical.
Got to foul.
And they waited too long to foul. Noko commits the foul. A lot of time went off the clock. 29.8 seconds left. And so Cameron Wright goes to the line. Wow. They're making free throws at a critical time of the ball game, and they are pressure packed.
Good teams, good players do that.
Steps up just like on the playground. This is for the game. Easier said than done.
Let's remember, Pitt 6-2 going into this game on the road. They're not afraid to play on the road.
Paul takes it down the lane. Can't get it to go over the rim, but he'll go to shoot 2.
ACC basketball is being brought to you by Food Lion, official supermarket of the ACC. By Geico, official corporate champion of the ACC. By BB&T, official bank of the ACC, member FDIC. By Toyota, official corporate champion of the ACC. And by AT&T, official wireless provider of the ACC.
Talib Zana has just fouled out. 5 personal fouls. He was disqualified. Artis comes in. Zana leaves with 10 points, 10 rebounds, and Hall at the line.
Rod Hall has been a stalwart through most of the year. Has not played his best game today, but certainly taking a free throw here that is going to be much needed.
And gets the roll. 81-76. Turnover.
My goodness.
Hall.
My goodness.
81-78. 1 possession. And the foul by KJ McDaniels.
I mean, this is almost a replica of what we saw again at the end of regulation. Great play there by Rod Hall. Put it in his left hand to protect it. Could have gotten a foul call, didn't it?
For James Robinson, it went right through the wickets.
And so now Cameron Wright back at the line. Crowd comes to its feet at Little John again. Makes the free throw. These guys have really stepped up big at the line down the stretch.
Well, for a guy shooting 68, 69% for the year, that's a great free throw. That's a clutch free throw. Ice cold.
How's she taking it? Makes them both. That makes her feel a little better. Final 13 seconds. Roper. And that may do it. That's it. Pitt wins it and finishes 5th in the ACC. Wow. What a game. And Patterson comes up huge in this game with a career-high 30 points. You've been watching exclusive coverage of ACC basketball on the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports.